co-host.
Manny, let's go, y'all. Let's go, Knicks.
Exactly. Let's go Knicks. Now, let me stop playing. You never hear me say that. But no, yeah, guys, we're gonna talk about Knicks today. We're gonna talk about baseball today, and we'll see what else we talk about. You'll never know what we decide to talk about. So stay tuned for all that and more. We got a special guest. We got the Penta man with the Proposito hat in the background. You know, he chilling. He might chime in from time to time. I think during this episode, I might have to be like, "Yo, what was that?"
Yeah, because only you could understand them.
Exactly. Because I used to be a luchador myself. You know, like I retired already. You know, so it's luchador talk. You know,
Took off the mask. You're not supposed to take off the mask.
so I lost it, bro. That's why I had to retire, bro. He took my mask. But now I want to do some check-ins too, bro. Like, how you been? How's your week going? Like, what's your mood like right now?
Uh,
Talk to us.
my week's been great. My mood and feeling has been all over the place. Obviously, with the NBA Finals, if anybody saw the last game and you a Knicks fan, you know that it was a roller coaster of emotions. So, but besides that, feeling good, feeling great, ready for tonight. Hopefully, you know, we get the outcome that we're waiting for.
All right. That's dope. Are you excited with the anniversary video coming up? Like,
Oh yeah, I'm excited about that too,
talk
man.
to us about that.
Yeah, man. Like I'm not gonna get too much into details about it because I always like surprising people, and I don't really like to give out the message until the message is put out. But I'm excited about it, man. I've always loved teaming up with you, with Isaac, man. We make we honestly a big three, you
For
know.
sure.
So we obviously I know that what we're gonna do, God willing, next week Saturday, where it's gonna be great. And not only that, man, not only the video that we're about to do, but also the hat that's about to drop. I'm not gonna show it yet. Maybe next week I'll show it off. I'll start to show it off.
Okay.
Maybe I'll do a exclusive here first.
Oh wow, you
Maybe
hear
I'll
that?
maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do the exclusive here, and then I'll show it off on social media so that
All
you
right.
guys can get ready. But it's coming. I already have the hat, So and then obviously, after that, I don't know what's gonna happen, but we're always working though.
Right,
So
right, right.
the most
But
important
yeah, I hear that the exclusivo
exclusive drop it here.
dropping here. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, bro. My week's been pretty chill too. Like we're about to. Did you finish like program yesterday or was it your last day with the kids?
No, I don't. I used to work in a program, but I don't. I work for this directly for the school now.
Oh, so
We're
still the
not
last.
done. We're not done until in like 2 weeks. So on the 26th.
Oh, that's the last day of school.
That's the last day of school. Yeah.
Oh wow. No, some programs like finished today. Like my fiance's program finished yesterday, but mine still carries to like 4 extra days because we work in a cornerstone. So
Okay.
we're almost there, but it's still been kind of chill. The kids have been super like
No,
calm.
my kids have been. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't know what it is. If it's that's getting warmer or lately it's just the energy, man. It's just insane. It's probably the excitement of the end of the school year. So it's like it's hard to keep up with, especially when you're getting older.
Right, right. You know what? Not like not to get too much off of like talking about sports, but this is like sports relevant. You just made me think about a story my daughter shared with me this week. So you see how the Knicks are in the finals right now. I don't know. Has your school like decorated orange and blue?
They haven't decorated, but you see almost everybody wearing orange and blue.
Okay, so if you go to if you enter my daughter's school at this exact moment, it's decorated in Nick. Like they literally took their time to decorate the whole school. Like that's dedication, right? So I'm asking my daughter, like, yo, what did you do for school today? Like, how was your day? And she's like, oh, we went to the gym and we watched the team with the white win. And I was like, wait, like what do you mean you watched the team? And she's like, yeah, like they were playing like the game. I was like, wait, what game? And so I guess my school decided to inspire the kids and play the entire game too, like on a projector. And so I was like, wait, what else you did? And she's like, Oh yeah, and then we sat down in the bleachers, and I was like, "Doing what?" And she was like, "Yeah, like the teachers, one decided to wear white, and the other decided to wear black, and they were going against each other in basketball." So basically, my school decided that okay, let's put on a Knicks game, and then let's just pretend like we in the finals ourselves. and then and then she said how the kids was like so excited, and they just how it is, like the kids just be
Uh-huh.
like going crazy
Yeah.
over here just having the time of their life thinking you're Jalen Brunson.
I think I'm Jalen Brunson too when I'm playing ball.
For real, bro. For real. For real. Speaking of Jalen Brunson, bro. So let's talk game 4, bro. How you felt? Thoughts? What was the mood? Actually, I would love to start with what was the mood like down 30 for you?
So I was watching it right here. I was right here. I was on this chair right here, sitting down, and I'm like, I wasn't. Let me start off saying this. I'm not surprised that the Knicks came back because if you're a Knicks fan and you've been following them for a minute, especially this core, you know that they're capable of it. What I was surprised was that they were down by 29 in the half. That's what I was surprised about because I'm just like, how is it that a team that is good as the Knicks and as gritty and as as tough as they are is down by 29 the first half? I didn't understand that. I was just like, I was obviously I was not happy about that. Um, but I was like, man, okay, I hope that in halftime they regroup, they, you know, I don't know, make adjustments and then come back out and try to win this game. Because if you really think about it, 12 minutes in a quarter in the playoffs is a long time. It's not the 12 minutes in a quarter in the playoffs versus in the regular season is not the same.
Yeah, yeah,
Because is the thing is that teams play with a lot more desperation and in the playoffs. And they try to use their time wisely. Not like in the regular season. The regular season is like it's whatever. Like we lose this game, whatever, on to the next. But I was just like that first half, I was just like, man, I cannot believe we're actually down this much in the first half. If it was like 15 points, I'd be like, okay, fine, whatever. I'm not gonna be upset about it. But it was like almost 30 points. And I'm pretty sure in the garden you could hear you can hear
yeah.
crickets, you could probably hear people's phone ringing how quiet it was because I could tell that it was quiet. But I was like, man, and I was mostly anxious and disappointed because I was just like, man, if the Spurs win this game and we go back to San Antonio 2-2, we are in trouble.
Big trouble.
We're in big trouble because now we're going back to their home and their fans they're rowdy.
They're,
I think they're
they're
just
throwing
as
it.
I think they're just as rowdy as Knicks fans. I think we're rowdier, but
Oh, nah, no such thing, bro.
but their fan base is strong too. So the pressure would have been on. But now that the outcome was different, I think that obviously I feel like for this next game they got to play with that same desperation that they played in the second half of game 4. They have to play that same way, but for fourth quarters, and they gotta give it at all.
Absolutely, yeah. I was the opposite of you, as you guys all know. I'm a hater. So, you know what also was surprising to me was that my like fiance, she never really watches the NBA Finals like that. Like she'll always ask me like, "Yo, what's going on? Like, what team's playing?" And she'll like last year she got into like the Halliburton and Pacers team. Like she was kind of rooting for that team. And then this year
I hate that
surprised
team.
me. What you
Hate that.
said?
I hate that team.
And then it surprised me when I thought she would actually be rooting for the Knicks as well. And she was like, no, no, that Wemby guy, I feel so bad for him. And then I started explaining to her more about like the Spurs and, everything. And so she's been really like tapped in now where she was like, me and her were like celebrating that they were up 30. And then she fell asleep. And then like she woke up and she's like, what's the score now? I'm like, yo, they're only up 4. And she's like, what? And the interesting part was that I actually placed a parlay like during halftime. Like I placed a bet, bro, that the Knicks would come back and win actually. But I added some additional stuff and I messed myself up, or else that would have been a phenomenon, bro. Would have This podcast would have been like redecorated already, bro.
You would have been in the studio right now.
Yeah, I would have been in a studio, a live studio, but yeah, bro. I think the Spurs at the end of the day, they beat themselves. I'm gonna give credit to the Knicks, like, cause you don't come back. That's the greatest comeback in finals history. Like they did that, so I don't want to take that away from them. But I also think the Spurs, they were playing too conservative, and there were times where I felt like they were more protecting the lead than trying to keep scoring or just, I don't know. Like I think it's a coaching thing in like. I guess that would be my next question for you. Like, who do you blame more? I guess on the Spurs, would it be the coach or would it be like De'Aaron Fox who made the mistake, or is there anybody else on the team that you think deserves like majority of the blame for like the blowing the lead?
I think it was collectively because obviously you as a team they were up 29, everybody was scoring, and they just I feel like one the Knicks locked in on defense in the second half, and that made them not score. And like you said, if they would have kept scoring, the outcome would have been different. And I think they got tired too. I think that first half they were moving a lot. They were shooting a lot. I think they made like what 15 threes in that first half. So, they were scoring a lot. They were moving a lot. They were moving back and forth a lot. If you could see sometimes the Knicks sometimes could even catch up to them. You could
Yeah,
see how fast they were in transition. So obviously everybody is blaming DeAndre Fox. But I think it was collectively because Wemby had free throws that he should have made and he didn't make them. I guess when he told Mitchell Robinson, oh, I'm in your head. I guess Robinson got into his head and transferred his free throws inabilities to him moment because you gotta make the free throws, man. Like in the playoffs, you gotta make free throws. You know what I mean? So it's like obviously Fox obviously is part blame for it. Should have made that layup, and then Wemby should have made those free throws too. But then again, the Knicks locked in on defense. If you go back and you see the defense that they were playing that first half of the game, they weren't catching up to the Spurs transition.
yeah,
Going into the third quarter, that whole defense changed, and that's why they scored. I think that second half, I think the Spurs scored like I think about 30 points. So it was 30 something points, while the Knicks, they scored like 60 something and came back and won. So yeah, Spurs shot themselves in the foot, but also the Knicks made them do that too. The defense made them do that.
yeah. I mean, I had a hard time thinking about like. I love your answer collectively because it is a team sport, as you always say. But I do think like had Wemby made the two free throws, bro, like we might be having a different story. And I know he's tired, but the greats, like they like save some additional, battery, when it's clutch time, like
But
they be clutch.
I kind of knew that before we got on this episode today. I kind of knew he was gonna say something like that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know you're a LeBron fan, and LeBron has had his moments in the fights where he didn't come through. But those times that he didn't come through, he was young. He was
Right.
he was inexperienced. So obviously Wemby's inexperienced. This is his first time in the playoffs in general. And the same thing for a lot of the guys on the Spurs. So a lot of them don't know, they don't really know what they're doing. They don't know how to handle certain things. They don't know how to, so they're learning. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of people are saying, oh, the Spurs are gonna come back 3-1. But the thing is that Wemby's not LeBron.
Right.
Time LeBron came back from 3-1, he was already a champion. He knew how to win. and LeBron was his beast mode those years. So it was like LeBron wasn't gonna go down without a fight. And I'm not saying Wemby is not capable of it. I just think that this team is, is fairly young, and obviously, hopefully that we get the outcome that we get tonight. But no matter what, like if we win, is in the near future, you're gonna see Wemby get multiple rings. I don't think he's gonna get one. I think he'll get multiple because
Right.
this core that they got, and I keep saying it. This core is a nice core, and the West is gonna be in trouble. OKC, Rockets, all those teams, they're gonna be in trouble. I know that for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I think if there's anything you could take away if they were to get eliminated, it's just that you're right. Like they have such a young core, so this is only gonna make them like stronger, like going into like future years to come. And it's funny you should mention LeBron because I actually was talking to Isaac about it, and I was like, bro, what if I told you that if the Knicks win, they have to thank LeBron? Like it was because of LeBron that the Knicks won, because back in the day, LeBron was on the Cavaliers, bro, and he used to demoralize, bro. When I say like they would call him LeBronto, he would destroy the Raptors, bro. And do you know who was on that Raptors team, bro?
It was OG, right?
OG, bro. The OG. So LeBron prepared OG for that moment, bro. Like that man has nightmares of that series, bro. Like you just 2018, bro. LeBron, that man just completely broke up that franchise, bro, and then that led to OG, going to you guys. So I'm just saying, LeBron, and all those times LeBron came to the Garden, destroyed the Knicks, that prepared them too, bro. They remember that. But
He used to come to the Garden in his prime and drop like 60 on us. I remember those days. I don't know.
yeah,
It'd be on the newspaper here in New York. I'm like, wow. Instead of the Knicks just saying the Knicks lost, it was all LeBron dropped 60 on the Knicks.
yeah, yeah, bro. Yeah,
But
bro.
then again, he did say that the Garden is his favorite place to play at. So
Yeah, I'm surprised he never decided to ever play there. That's
he actually, funny story from what I heard, he actually did wanted to come here to play.
okay.
In 2010, when he was deciding to go to Miami,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
he wanted to come here to play, but the Knicks got desperate and they signed, I think it was Amari Stoudemire.
Right. They had
They signed
Omari.
him. They signed him, and that's the one thing about NBA free agency that I don't really like. That once it's July 1st, everybody starts signing right away.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's not like baseball where baseball is like, there's that anticipation, like, oh, where's this guy going? Where's this guy going? I guess a lot of the deals in the NBA are like is like pre-made. You know what I mean? So it's like once free agency opens, everybody signs with whoever they kind of agree with signing with. LeBron wanted to sign with the Knicks, but you know the Knicks made that mistake, and we wouldn't even be talking about the Knicks in the finals right now because probably I think obviously LeBron would have brought a nice team, to New York, and
well, did you already have Carmelo yet or no?
no, not yet, not like that.
Oh, right.
Came
So
in, he came in later on. I think later on that season he came in. Carmelo came.
I don't know if you saw the other day, but Carmelo finally like had a podcast with Jeremy Lin.
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you see the podcast?
I saw clips and I saw where he was talking about Jeremy Lin's free agency.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was watching too, and I was just like, wow, it's interesting to me how like players like because we talked about Juan Soto and Lindor, like players really don't communicate like that. Like it's always a misunderstanding, but it's created by the media, and so players take it that the actual player said it, but they take it out of context and stuff, and I'm just like, damn. So I wonder had Carmelo just got on the phone and called Jeremy Lin, or Jeremy Lin did the same, like would he have stayed in Nick instead of going to Houston. But I'm interested in hearing your take on like just Carmelo and Jeremy Lin. Like, what was that era like for you? That like
Uh it was whack. It was whack, but I remember Linsanity though. Linsanity was it was cool. It was I mean it was brief, but I don't know. I don't know if like I said, it was brief, so I don't know if down the road Jeremy Lin would have made a huge impact, um, like how Brunson is making now with the Knicks. You know what I mean? So obviously it was cool. The Linsanity time era was cool because the Knicks were very irrelevant. They were losing. They didn't really have a team and stuff like that. So it was cool, to see that. But I honestly don't think it would have led to what is being led to now with Jalen Brunson, in the finals and the Knicks in the finals.
Yeah, that evolution now that you're bringing up about like point guards is just crazy, right? Like like Raymond Felton days,
And Felton, Pablo, I forgot
Prigioni,
Johnny.
yeah, Prigioni.
Yeah, I had RJ Barrett. We had different guys. It was. I'm telling you, like this is why.
Yeah, deserve
This is
it.
why we deserve this. We deserve this. We deserve this. We
And you
deserve.
had you had Derek Fisher at some point. He was running point, and then he became the coach, I think.
He was a coach. I was like, oh my gosh. And Phil Jackson was, I think, the team president. It was too much. But you know when I think the Knicks really turned it around? Not when Jalen Brunson came, but when James Dolan started to step back and
Right.
he started to let the front office do his job. Because sometimes there are owners in sports that they are smart, they know the sport, which I think is very important. I feel like every sports owner should know the sport, but also if you know, I feel like some owners they shouldn't even be involved in decision making. I feel like you should just release the money that needs to be released so you could get the guys that you need to get, and that's it. And James Dolan understood the assignment. He understood that he needs to step back and he needs to let the front office do their job. And obviously, he did a great job on that. And here we are, one win away from a championship.
Yeah, so it's so hard to believe. Like when I'm thinking about those New York Knicks teams from back in the day, bro. Like if you told a fan like you back in the day, like yo, in the future, you're gonna have this guy named Jalen Brunson, and he's gonna be kind of short, but he's gonna lead your team to a championship. You're just gonna be like, impossible, because that's what because like you said, it really came down to management. Like you could have gotten all the players you wanted, but if management is shaky and management is not like working together or they're being messy, then that's gonna affect the team and stuff. And I'm also interested in that podcast because Jeremy Lin spoke about how he just doesn't think him and Carmelo styles match. And so, do you agree? Would you say that it was actually for the best that he left because he wasn't compatible with Melo?
Yeah, I think it was the best because the thing is that you always want to be. It's like when you're in a workplace, you work better when you're working with people that you get along with.
Right,
I feel like I work better with people that I get along with. So, for example, the Knicks right now, you got Jalen Brunson, you got Mikal Bridges, and you got Josh Hart. What do they have in common? They won a championship together, not in the NBA, but in college.
right,
You have that relationship, and then I don't know if you saw media day like a couple of days ago. Cat was they were asking him, "Oh, like how's your friendship with Jalen Brunson?" And they was like, oh, at first, obviously when I got here to New York, I didn't really know him. I didn't really have a relationship with him, obviously, because they weren't teammates and they
right.
were different conferences. But he talked about how Jalen Brunson had embraced him, and they become good friends too. So you could even say that Cat is a Villanova. He's a part of the Villanova boys, even though he didn't go to Villanova, but they have that great relationship, and you could tell that it's not just a work relationship. Even they have that relationship even outside of the basketball court. So I feel like that's very, very important. You know what I mean? So maybe obviously that's probably why it didn't work out with Melo and Jalen. You know what I mean? So sometimes ego plays part of that. This is why, I'm not trying to get off topic, but this is why when I talk about Juan Soto and Lindor, this is
Right.
what I try to make people understand. You could tell that these guys, there's something off with them, and this and that energy kind of like it transfers over to the rest of the other guys on the team. So you know it's very important. It's very important that these guys have a great relationship, because if not, you're not gonna win anything. I guess that's why Jeremy Lin and Melo was never gonna work out.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree as well. I don't. Even if had he stayed, I think it would have just created more drama, and like that's what New York loves is that drama. So I just don't think they were compatible.
Yeah.
I do wonder like if Jalen Brunson wins, right? Because I heard somebody say like this crazy like take I read on the internet the other day saying that if Brunson wins, like he's better than Kyrie Irving, and I think because I grew up with Kyrie, I was like offended. But then when I thought about it and I like really sat there and like thought about the statement, I was like, he's not wrong. Like, cause if Brunson were to win a title, bro, like he would win it as like the best player on the team, like the one leading the team, right? And Kyrie, although he was a great player and I love Kyrie, like I collect his shoes, he did have LeBron. Like he had his like Batman, as you would say, right? And Jalen right now is Batman. You would say Robin is more Cat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I guess I was like, damn, like that. I can't believe like that's really gonna happen. Like I wasn't sad about it, but I'm just like, it's an interesting point because like we're kind of getting older, and now like there's new like I don't want to say goats, but just like guys that you're like, oh snap, like that's their generations, like what we thought we used to see,
Yeah.
like that might be their D Rose,
Mm-hmm.
who actually didn't get injured. Because
Mm-hmm.
everybody says like D Rose doesn't get injured, he might win some championships. But
Yeah.
yeah, bro, where I guess my question to you would be too is like, where does Jalen Brunson rank for you, like for all time Knicks? Like, is he number one, or do you think he's up the top three as a Knicks fan?
Realistically, like record wise, he would probably be, I don't know, he'd probably be two or three, because Patrick Ewing owns a lot of Knicks records, like
Mm-hmm.
points scored, games played, and stuff like that. But for me personally, and this is just me being biased, I would have to put him number one. I don't care what anybody says,
I
because,
agree.
because
Yeah.
I don't care. I honestly don't care what anybody says, because you know what it's like to go 53 years without winning, 27 years without even making it to the to the finals. And also, obviously, the Knicks were in a transition of rebuilding before Brunson came in. Brunson comes in, takes a lot of criticism from the media, from everybody. Oh, how can they sign this guy? He's a he's a he's a best two. We would say he's not a number one player.
Yeah, they have problems
That-
with his height and
yeah,
stuff.
and then all of a sudden he comes to New York, he gets the opportunity, and he changes the whole franchise around. You know what I'm saying? So obviously for me, it's just that he's number one to me. He's number one to me. And I heard somebody this morning say that if somebody is deserving of winning the Finals MVP, and I know some people say OG Ananobi, it should be Brunson. And they explained it very well why it should be Jalen Brunson, because those comebacks always start with Jalen Brunson.
Absolutely. Those deficits are because Jalen Brunson is listening to everybody say, yo, you should be a team player. And so he, game four, the first half, he was like, bet, you want me to be the point guard? You want me to trust my teammates? Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Down 30 points. And then he's like, okay. And only the greats understand. Like, had he been any other player that was like petty, he would have been like, I'm gonna keep playing like this. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a later post conference, I'm gonna say that's what you guys wanted, right? But no, Jalen Brunson's like, no, now I'm switching the mama mentality. Like I'm locking in, I'm bringing this team back, and we're gonna do it my way. And
Mm-hmm.
that's more than enough for me to give you MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Because OG, what OG did is fascinating. Like, he's gonna have his statue, bro, somewhere in
Mm-hmm.
New York, but it doesn't start without the leader, like without the guy setting the tone. And
Mm-hmm.
he absolutely, I think if there was a game you look and you're like, yo, this is a game I would give an MVP, would be that, because it's those little things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, had he also been a player that like wanted all the glory, he would have took more shots too. But he saw his guy was in rhythm. He even the players that were playing so bad ended up like playing so good, because it's an energy, bro. Like Jose
So Jose,
Alvarado.
no, yeah, Jose Alvarado. Just I was
Yeah,
about to
bro.
mention.
3-pointer, like, and role players like that, bro, don't take shots like that in a big moment, because, like, that's not your role. Like, let the star do it, and he had the confidence to do that, and I think that speaks to Jalen Brunson's, like, leadership. So I would agree with you too on your take of like him being number one, bro. Just because I get Patrick Ewing, but those are stats. And eventually, if Brunson he's gonna be a lifetime Knick, bro. So he's gonna end up breaking those records. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you won't really be able to make a case anymore for Patrick Ewing. It makes me sad for Carmelo, because I feel like as time keeps passing, I feel like history is gonna forget Carmelo, and it sucks because
To be honest, I know disrespect to Melo, but I've kind of like I was when I saw Melo in Game 4 in the Garden, I kind of forgot that he was even a Knick.
right,
And there's no disrespect. Is that the thing is in New York, everybody here in New York knows this. In New York, we remember those who bring glory to the sports teams. You're always gonna remember a Jeter. You're always gonna remember Darryl Strawberry. You're always gonna remember Eli Manning. You're always gonna remember those guys. Why? What did those guys do? They brought championships to the city, and those guys will never be forgotten. And obviously, Melo, obviously there was some decent playoff runs, but it never went past the second round. So, and then there was years that we had Melo where we was winning 15 games a year. So obviously,
yeah,
unfortunately, those guys, in the rankings of who's the top players of the franchise, they get lower and lower and lower. But a guy like Brunson, man, who's on the verge of winning a championship, you're never gonna forget a guy like that. 20, 30 years from now, when he's already retired and he's going to the Garden, everybody's gonna remember this run.
ab-
Everybody's gonna remember it.
absolutely, bro. Yeah, I honestly, like I said, like, I don't think that's a crazy take. I know a lot of fans are gonna be like, well, you're probably just in the moment, like, it's understandable, but no, I think he has to be one. Like, you just, based on how the series has gone too, like, you did not just only win a chip, but you came back from, like, 30 something points, um, and then just all the expectations leading up to the finals about, oh, the West is so much better than the East, and the Knicks had an easy
Which is
road.
true. It is true,
Yeah.
but you know,
But it just makes it seem like it don't matter who would have came out the West,
mhm.
because they were just so determined, and they're so locked in. Like, as I even like, and I think I talked about this in the first ever pod we did, was one thing about them this year that's so different is that they just don't ever panic. Like, even down 30, bro, like, they were just chipping away, chipping away. Like, I didn't really see any frustration. I think the first half was like the Spurs were trying to get in their heads, and they were allowing the Spurs to, like, manipulate them, like, and make mistakes. And then once the second half, they started playing their basketball again. Like, they started playing who they was, as opposed to playing who they weren't, which was in the first half. So I was impressed. I think if that was like a moment too, that you're like, as a basketball fan, you're like, these guys just want it more. And as much as I want to hate on them, like it's just meant to be. I think I was also just afraid overall for what would happen if they lost outside. And I wanted to hear your take, or I wanted you to address Knick fans today, and talk about these what's going on outside, bro, because they active outside, bro.
Let me take off my glasses for this one. I can see. I can still see. But this is how you know I'm serious. How you know I'm serious. A lot of y'all are kids. Y'all up past y'all bedtime. Go home. You was not there when we were suffering. And if you are a Knicks fan that was there when we were suffering all those years, and you turning up in the street, shame on you. Shame on you. You should not be doing that. I seen some crazy videos from last game.
Bro, they threw
Disrespectful.
eggs. They threw eggs at Wemby.
I don't like Wemby. Because on this series, maybe not like him. I didn't even knew he was dirty. I didn't know he was a dirty player like that. I did not know that. I don't like him. But guess what? Don't give him any fuel because that's giving him fuel. Literally. If somebody throw an egg at me, I'm going back the next game. I'm demolishing. I'm demolishing everybody that's in my way in the court. Even though it was none of the Knicks that threw the egg. But that wasn't even the saddest part I saw. The saddest thing that I saw was a worker from Five Guys getting jumped by a whole bunch of kids that were supposedly Knicks fans.
That's crazy.
Real Knicks fans don't do that.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you're in Midtown today, please, for the love of God, do not turn up like that. Yes, celebrate, scream, do all that stuff. It's okay. It is fine. It is cool. Yes, we're winning. Yes, we're closer to winning it all. But do the right thing, yo. Please don't be stupid and first of all, don't be hurting other people. Don't be hurting fans that like the other team. The cops. Don't be doing that. You don't want to do that.
I felt bad for those cops.
You don't want to do that because you assault a cop. Assaulting a cop, if nobody knows the law here, assaulting a cop is worse than assaulting a regular citizen. Just letting you know right now. Just be smart. And if you out in a bar or whatever, you know, you're be smart about what you do. Be smart about what you do. Enjoy the game. Let's enjoy this moment and don't mess it up. Don't mess it up for everybody. Don't mess it up for me. Do not mess it up for me. Don't mess it up for anybody. Please, everybody. Please. It's ridiculous. Now I'm gonna put my glasses back on because
No, yeah, I saw some crazy videos too, bro. I saw like some Spurs fan just walking out in the like, and then all of a sudden he got surrounded, and he had no choice but to hold his own. So, but it looked like action movies, bro. Like
I seen a video of a Spurs fans getting protected by cops.
Oh yeah. Like outside the garden, right?
Yeah, I'm like, wow.
And then one had like there was this like skinny guy with a Spurs jersey, and he had like a string book bag, and they were like trying to set him on fire. And then the police. The interesting part was that the police was there the whole time, and they forced him to take his Spurs jersey off. Like he took it off just because he didn't want the smoke. But I mean, I say the same thing. I don't think they're real like Knicks fans. I don't even think they're from New York to begin with. Like I saw a lot of like cameras, and so I really think these were all content creators just trying to make a name, just trying to go viral, like for all the wrong reasons. Like
that's a corny way to go viral.
For real, bro. Because I've seen that we have access to all this footage because it's all of them uploading it. So if anything, that's also evidence. Like you criminalizing your own self, because you actually get questioned like, where'd you get this footage? What role did you play in? So when people are recording, they sometimes don't realize.
I heard on what was the game? It was Wednesday night. I heard there was 56 arrests that night.
Yeah, bro.
56. It's probably more, to be honest. But it's that people need to stop doing stupidities like that. Yo, listen. Booing the other, if you see somebody with a Spurs shirt, it's cool to boo them. Whatever, boo, it's cool. That's fine. That's more respectful than throwing stuff at them and beating them up. But you over here, like, come on, bro. Like, you're making us look bad. Then everybody else, I know another content creator that he's a Spurs fan, lives in San Antonio. And I was talking with him, and he was telling, and I was telling him, yo, like, don't think that us Knicks fans, we think that we're okay with that because we're not okay with that activity. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's people over there that thinking that all of us is like that, and we're not. So it's crazy, man. It's insane, man. I just listen, y'all. Be smart. Don't listen. The Knicks could win this year, and you're still paying the consequences for your actions 10 years later.
Yeah, bro. I think there, I think God, if God existed, bro, He existed yesterday for sure. I mean, the day they won for sure because I was concerned. I think had they lost and by in that matter of that fashion, bro, I think Knicks fans would have turned it up by even more, bro. Like, so I think it was for the best they won because Lord knows, like I can't even imagine if the Spurs win today, right? And then they come back here and were to lose. Like you had it right in your hand, like at home, and now you got to go back to Game 7. Like I don't even want to imagine that for Knicks fans because I already know that's a whole nother like, you know. But that leads me to my next question. 'Cause I know we're talking a lot about the Knicks, but they are playing today, you know. So I'm interested in hearing your takes about the celebrities, bro. What's going on? Like, are you a big fan of them showing up, or
Well, I'll
also
name a few.
just
I'll name a few. I'll name a few that I like that I know that are loyal.
real the Knicks fans?
Ben Stiller.
Okay,
Ben Stiller. They even asked him like, "How long you been coming to this games?" He'd be like, "Since 70 something, since 72." So since he was a kid. Timothy. I like Timothy because that man, that kid. He's been going to every Knicks playoff game. He was
yeah,
supposed to go to the Met Gala and he left his girl to go to see the Knicks. That's a real fan. And he was even going to the road games. Um, who else? Fat Joe, uh,
Adam
Jay
Sandler was there.
Adam Sandler came to one game. Spike Lee. I mean, obviously Spike Lee. Spike Lee. Spike Lee been a fan since way before we were even born. Um, yeah. Who else do I like? That I don't mind being there.
Chris Rock was there too. I don't
Chris
know.
Rock was there. Oh, Nas was there.
Yeah,
Nas,
not there.
Nas was there too. Now, people like Taylor Swift, fam, in the Cleveland series, she was rocking a Cleveland. Like, bro, like, what are you doing there? Like, no. Juan Soto was there, game 3. I didn't like that either. I didn't like that either. Yeah, I didn't like that. I don't know where he was at, but I know he was there. That's probably why we lost that game. Um, what else? Who else I don't like that being? What was the other dude? Larry.
Oh, Larry David.
Yeah, Larry David. That's the only game I seen him at. Like, come on, bro. Like, you was probably rooting for LA just a few years ago. Like, stop playing.
Yeah,
Uh, Kylie Jenner. She only there cause of Timothy.
for
Honestly,
real,
she
for
only
real.
there cause of Timothy. She probably low key a Lakers fan.
Right.
So yeah, she probably only there cause of Timothy. So, but I kind of give her a pass. Kinda give her a pass.
How?
I really can't name no other celebrity on top of my head, but yeah, those celebrities, I'm like, yeah, nah, I don't really want to see them there no more. Like,
No,
yeah,
yeah, I was.
enjoy, and then watch from home next time.
No, I was disgusted. If I was Travis Kelsey, bro, I'd file for divorce. I'd leave the house, bro. Like this whole thing is a lie. Cause like how you gonna support my team and then go and support the team that beat my team in the way they beat my team, you know? Like if it was a hard fought series and like you'll never see me in a
My
Yankees
thing
jersey,
is,
even if the Yankees are playing.
some people would think, right, that me saying
Yeah,
Taylor Swift is because, oh, I'm not a Swiftie. It's
right.
not that. It's that you can't be wearing a Cleveland gear one series and then the next series you're supporting the Knicks.
And
Like,
she gonna be at Game 7 with a Spurs jersey
how
on.
about say, no, I hope we don't even get to a game set. We need to finish tonight. We need to close it out tonight. I don't want the Spurs getting no confidence. But she's capable of doing that though.
Bro,
She's
she's
capable of doing that.
her and Kevin Durant, bro. They be on every team. But yeah, bro. But speaking of tonight, I realize we haven't even talked about tonight that there's a game. So there's a game tonight, everybody, in San Antonio, Game 5. Do you see a Game 6? Or if your Knicks are gonna win today, what are the keys, bro? How are they gonna make it happen today
Play the same way you play the second half, but for 4 quarters.
for 4 quarters?
Play the same way. It doesn't have to be a blowout. You just need to lock in on defense. You need to like give it your all.
Do you have any celebrations prepared, or like do you know what you're gonna do? Like I
I know,
remember.
I know. I just told the entire state of New York to you need to be chill. But if well, when we win tonight, because I have faith,
Okay.
I know God is gonna hear my prayers. Because I actually prayed before the game, last game. I was like, God, please that they win this game. And it looked like we wasn't gonna win, but God came through. If we win tonight, I'm feeling sorry for your cars because I'm flipping them. Flipping your cars.
When he
And you
says
won't even
flipping
know what
them, he means he's selling them. He's selling your cars. He
no, no,
flipped
no, I'm flipping the cars. I'm flipping them. I'm flipping the cars. I'm gonna have the strength of Hulk.
them.
Nah, all seriousness, don't do that. All seriousness, I'm gonna be with some friends. So yeah, I don't know. I honestly like I actually thought about it. Like I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I don't know if I'm gonna cry.
I
I,
feel like you have to shed a tear.
I think no lie. I think I'm gonna cry, bro. I'm not a crying person. I don't cry.
Right.
I don't really cry, but I think this is a moment that I'm like, damn, like yo, when I became a Knicks fan, they were winning 15 games a year, and I never thought that this day would come. Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna go to the parade. Definitely gonna go to the parade. I think that's basically the number one way I'm gonna celebrate is definitely going to a parade. I've never gotten a chance to go to a championship parade. Obviously, the Yankees in the late '90s, early 2000s. I was too young, so I don't really remember those teams. And then 2009, I was 13. I was at school. My parents was not gonna let me go when they won. And then there hasn't really been any. Well, and then the Giants won in 2011, but my parents were still not gonna let me go to no championship parade. So now I'm an adult now. So, and now we're on the verge of winning. So hopefully when they win tonight and they come back to New York, hopefully I could be able to celebrate with, everybody here in the city, see that trophy and right there and just but obviously we gotta take it one step at a time, one quarter at a time and then just hope for the best today.
Absolutely. No, I'll be excited for you. I'll low key out. I'll be happy for y'all Nick fans. I'll try to be. I'll try to be. I think I'd be miserable, but not for the fact, not because the Knicks are gonna win. I'll be miserable, but I'd be miserable because now this puts all the pressure on the Mets. Like the Mets are next. Like if you think about it, like if there's a franchise in New York that has like that should have already promised a title and delivered on a title to New York, has to be the Mets. Like they were off the hook because the Knicks hadn't won anything, and because the Knicks are a bit more popular, you kind of didn't you understood like it's the Mets. Like we have the Knicks, we're more focused. The city's more focused on that. But now that the Knicks win, bro, now everybody's at the table. Like yo, when is it like when is it gonna happen? So that's why I'm gonna be miserable because now the eyes are on us.
Mm-hmm.
So transitioning now to these Metropolitan Mets, um, I don't even know where to start, bro. How do you assess this New York Mets team this year, or what are some things since you're not a fan, what are some things you're seeing from the clubhouse that is concerning?
Obviously we spoken about it off camera, but I think the number one thing that's affecting the Mets this year, some people would say, it's probably some of the injuries and stuff like that. Listen, every team goes through injuries. Let me just say that the Dodgers went through. We spoke about it last episode. Dodgers had almost the entire rotation gone through injuries, and they still won a championship. But what kept the Dodgers still competing, obviously, was because of their experience and because they got along with each other. I think the number one problem with the Mets is the chemistry. I think the chemistry is not there. You know what I mean? I think the two guys that are supposed to set the tone for the team are not setting the tone for the team. And obviously, if you took a guess, I'm talking about Lindor and Soto. And it's very obvious that they don't like each other. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is. I don't know if it's ego. I honestly don't know what it is because we don't know all the details. They both have come out and tried to, downplay it. But the thing is that the thing about New Yorkers is that New Yorkers are not stupid.
Yeah.
We know when something is wrong in the clubhouse. And if the issue is chemistry, there's one or two things that should happen when it comes to the Mets and that situation with Lindor and Soto. Either they figure out how to get along in the clubhouse and on the field, right? And put their differences aside for 3, 4 hours, right? Like how A Rod and Jeter did, or you ship off Lindor. I think you should ship him out.
I listen, man. I like we had this conversation as I said, as you said off camera, and I absolutely agree. I think Lindor gotta go, and I'm sorry. I know. I think I said last episode that I was like I was gonna share a story about like Lindor, how my fiance called me a fake fan because she was asking me like we were talking about them, and I was like, yo, they just don't get along, and I was like, I would just get rid of Lindor, and
I
she's like,
have I have
yeah,
I have one friend that's a Mets fan. I want to bring him. Hopefully, he's not really much of a camera person on camera.
okay,
Hopefully, I could get him on here one day because this guy, I have an argument with him about this topic all the time, and I tell him, "Listen, your boys don't get along. This is why you're not winning."
yeah,
And he keeps denying it, but I know deep down inside he knows I'm right.
no, yeah, I'm telling you, my fiance was like, I can't believe you're so fake. Like you were like celebrating Lindor like when Soto wasn't there. And I was like, it's not even that I'm fake. It's just like I have to be realistic. Like I know who the better player is. And I also know that it was like if like, not to go back again to the Knicks, but if Brunson never embraced Cat, like we might not be here, And so because Brunson was there way longer. He's the captain. So I think Lindor has to embrace Juan Soto, and that's just something you'll never see Lindor do because he doesn't want to. And you just can't
And
force anybody.
and see, this is the thing, right? Now that I like that you brought that comparison, right? That and saying that he should embrace Juan Soto. I think it would make a huge difference because obviously we've seen it with the Knicks, with Brunson to Cat, and even believe it or not, even Jeter with A Rod back in the day when A Rod got traded over here to the Yankees. By that time, Jeter and A Rod's relationship had broken apart because of media stuff or whatever. But Jeter was a guy that his number one priority was winning. And when they did the press conference for A Rod, Jeter was there.
Yeah,
I don't correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Lindor was there when Juan Soto signed.
I don't believe he was there either. No.
So it's like listen, everybody on the team gotta accept their roles. If you are a second player, if you're the second best player, you're the second best player. If you are a utility player, you are utility. You gotta accept your roles. That's how you win because at the end of the day, everybody has a common goal, and it's to win a championship. The money is gonna come in. You got the money. Everybody's happy on the 15th and the 30th. But the championship is the number one goal. And everybody on that team, I think the only way that the Mets could truly turn their season around is if Juan Soto and Lindor be like, you know what? Let's put this aside. Let's go get a championship. But you're right. Between the two players, Juan Soto is the better player. And
Yeah,
he's young. And he's younger.
yeah, because I think there's something to be said to how impressive it is that as you said, you want to come to work happy, you want to be happy where you play, right? Yet Juan Soto still having good numbers, being miserable. So what I want to see, I want to see Juan Soto happy because
Make
I
this a
know,
clip. Make that a clip.
because I know I seen Juan Soto happy, and I know what that leads to. Because when he was on the Yankees and he was happy, World Series. When he was on the Nationals and he was happy, World Series.
He wasn't even the number one guy in
Yeah,
Washington.
but he was having fun, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And like the World Baseball Classic when he was with on his Dominican team, bro, you could tell the difference. Like he even said it in the interviews. He was like, "There's a difference when you play with people you like or something like that." Like he
He
was
said
throwing.
he said he said his most special years was 2019 and 2024.
Yeah, yeah. So there's something to be said, like, for the environment. And I think what I told you off camera is that as much as I do want to blame Lindor, I would blame more the coach and the front office, because if you get if you realize that you couldn't do much with the players you traded, for me that's saying that's also an indictment on the coach. Like, if the coach couldn't do anything for these players and you kept like falling short, and you're gonna get new players now, I might want to switch managers and start over. Like, in that way of bringing a manager, setting his own culture. If you're really gonna like get rid of all these players and start over and clean house, you should have done that with like the manager as well, in my opinion, because that could have also the new manager would have no idea of the beef that's going on between Lindor and Soto. The new manager would just probably come in and be like, "Hey, clean slate, let's get on the same page." I don't know what happened before I was here, but that's at least that's what I would think the new like manager will come in. So I would love to blame Lindor more, but I just think it's the front office.
I
But
think
yeah,
though. I think though. I'm sorry to cut you off. I think also is more on Lindor because this is not the first time he's had an altercation with a teammate while he's been a Met. He's had issues with Brandon Nimmo. He's had issue with what's the other one? He used to play second base with y'all. I forgot his name.
McNeil. No, not McNeil.
Yes, Jeff McNeil.
Jeff McNeil. Yeah, yeah.
McNeil. Yes. Jeff McNeil won a batting title with you guys. You know what I mean? Those are guys that obviously it kind of changed after a while with his playing, but Brandon Nimmo, for example, Brandon Nimmo he's a good player, and I think to me I would rather have Brandon Nimmo on my team than have Marcus Simeon, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But there's two guys that were valuable to the Mets and they left. I wouldn't say it was because of Lindor, but they had issues with Lindor. So I think that plays a big part in why is it that there hasn't been winning in Queens. So it's like Lindor's a good player, but if you're not setting the tone in the clubhouse and you're not setting a great atmosphere, I think we know who the problem is, and I think that I feel like the Mets should move on from him. If when he comes back from his injury, he doesn't get his stuff together with Juan Soto, because honestly speaking, that entire Mets team depend on those two guys, and if those two guys are not locked in with each other, you're not winning anytime soon.
Yeah, and right now they're having a good time because they beat the Braves yesterday, and I've been noticing like just Juan Soto's been taking the lead more, and so I think Lindor's still injured from what I remember. He still hasn't returned, so I'm interested in seeing how that dynamic works when he does come back. But like you said, I would just avoid even like running into that situation. If you trade him now, you don't even have to deal with that. That's like a less stress. Why would you stress yourself out if your team is like kind of getting back from last place and trying to get into a wild card? But I would just, if you like what you see right now without Lindor, say this is the best we can get. Let's just take this because I don't want to see worse. Because I think when they were playing together, that's how they fell into this like huge hole because they couldn't get on the same page. And you can even tell too in the beginning of the season, like Soto was indecisive. He wasn't sure, and I think that all comes down to chemistry and just communicating. Like, this is the situation right now. Runners on first and second. Maybe you should try to do this. Like, but I don't even think they talk to each other like that. And so I don't know. I would get rid of Lindor, and I just feel like Juan
But
Soto right now needs more help too, because the guys they
we
got, yeah,
we talk about too how tough it is to I mean how we think that Lindor should go, but also he has a big salary too, so that would
yeah,
be a move too. So I think the Mets would have to eat a lot of that money up, and
yeah. Give me. Give me Ben Rice. You know, I think we'll be fine.
I don't want him on my team.
You don't want Ben Rice on your team?
I don't want Lindor on my team.
Oh, you don't want him to. Oh.
I love Ben Rice.
I love Ben Rice too. That's the only Yankee I love. Like that guy needs to be on our team, bro.
You don't like Aaron Judge?
Nah, I don't, bro. That's a whole bro. That's a
You
whole.
was giving him you was giving him more praise than me the last episode.
I know you had me defending him. I couldn't believe over the great Otani. I always gotta carry an Otani card, you know. That's how you know I'm a gambler.
That's like like one of those courtesy cards that NYPD gives. Yeah.
But nah, yeah, bro. We'll see what happens with the Mets. You know, I think I would love for like I guess the next episode or the next or not even if it's not the next one because we might be talking about the Knicks winning already. We'll see. Or now we're talking about Game 7, which would be crazy. But yeah, I would love to dive into just once we're done with basketball, like who we see as division winners and who just talk like really give people like a rundown of like what we see in for baseball and what we expect for teams to do. That would be dope. And yeah, bro, I don't know if you have anything else to say to the people. We hit that hour. I feel like time flies every time we do these podcasts, bro.
Yeah, time flies. And I got a lot to do today. But
Yeah,
but obviously, we made sure to make this episode because we both got busy weekends. But that's how much we love you guys.
exactly. I'm proud of us. Yeah, we could have easily been like, you know
Yo,
what?
I woke up before 6 o'clock today.
I was up till 2 a.m. I was in the lab.
Oh, see that? See?
Yeah, that's
See?
dedication. I was cooking for you guys. I was gonna just put a regular like thumbnail and just description. I was just gonna be like, sports watch, and I was like, no, I'm
Also,
gonna
oh wait. Also, we gotta come up with a name with the. Remember, we said we was gonna give the
yes,
people the opportunity. We gotta come up with a name for the podcast. Right
yeah,
now, this podcast is. I think it's John Doe Sports.
yeah, for real. It's to be announced or to be decided podcast. But
Yeah,
yes, we're gonna talk, guys. I know we said we were gonna talk last time, but we're gonna talk. We're gonna figure out a perfect way to get you guys involved. I also wanna start uploading like 3 different thumbnails before each episode, like maybe a day or 2 days prior, and have you guys vote on which thumbnail you want. We're trying to secure some sponsorships. So if you see me post anything on Instagram, go support it, repost it. And we got Proposito stuff coming on the way.
yeah,
Excited for that.
yeah.
And
Maybe next episode.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we're dropping.
exactly. So we appreciate you guys. My birthday's tomorrow too. So if you wanna
Yeah,
wish me a happy birthday in the comment section or subscribe if you haven't, or leave that thumbs up too. um but yeah, man, I hope everyone has a good weekend. We'll see what happens tonight. I might hit up a bar, actually. I'm thinking about it, so my fiance could experience a bar for the first time with sports, and that energy is going to be crazy. And I
yeah,
don't know, I love the madness, so I think I might do that tonight. So
yeah. I think tonight's the perfect night for that.
yeah, bro, we appreciate having you as well. Just let the people know where they can find you. Just
Yeah, you can find me at Instagram, Manny Ortiz, with the 3 Z's at the end. Also, you can follow the brand Proposito Apparel. And you can also visit our web store, which is propositoapparel.com. We got all the latest stuff there. Caesar got one of the hats that we've dropped, still available. And we got new stuff dropping soon too. We got new stuff. We got new content dropping soon. So just stay tuned. Something that's gonna bless your life. So yeah, man. Appreciate
exactly.
all love.
Exactly. Bucket hat too. Hottest bucket hat of the summer. You know what I'm saying? If you
Bucket
don't
hat.
have that bucket,
I awarded the first episode. So if y'all go back, you'll see me wearing the bucket hat. I'm not wearing none of my proposito stuff because right now is Knicks right now. It's Knicks. But once this is over, then I did say I'm gonna wear propositos something proposito every episode. But right now I'm Knicks right now.
yeah. After the win, he's gonna be like, psh, and it's all Proposito stuff.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
Superman, Clark, he's like Proposito.
Dang, facts.
But all right, everyone. You guys can find me at King_Julius_Caesar. We're trying to get to 10K on TikTok, almost there. So go follow that. And yeah, guys, have a great weekend. We'll see you guys until next time. Appreciate you once again, bro. Have a great weekend.
All right, man. Let's go Knicks.